Yo, what up? All right, guys, little different style today. I like doing this stuff live a little bit better. And here on a Friday afternoon, just past 4 o'clock Eastern Time, presents you guys some opportunities to give some questions out. I know this is a new format, so the chance of many people swinging by today is on the lower side. But this video will obviously still be archived and posted to the channel in my live videos. So even if you see this after I end the live stream, flood the comment sections, comment section with what you guys are thinking, and just comments of your own. So I'll start off by saying this. It's a great week for NFL and it's a bad week for college. I'm telling you that right now, wholeheartedly. I truly believe in that. Guys, it is a nasty, ugly college football weekend. Honestly, maybe just watch. Like, I'm going to give you picks today. We're going to have at least 2 official plays in today's video by the end of today's video. But I'm telling you right now, I really don't suggest betting on Saturday. Sunday is going to be the biggest. Now look at the percentages behind me. Look at our progress report this far in the year. NFL has been down. College football has been spectacular. Okay. It's going to be a big week for NFL. Big. I might bet every freaking game. I truly feel dialed in for NFL. You guys can fade my picks if you want. Yo, what up, Vic? But this is the real deal. This is a real deal for a Sunday NFL slate. It is not a good-looking Saturday. Everything is a coin flip. You literally could probably... I might do it for fun. Maybe we'll grab a coin here at the end of today's video, and we'll flip a coin for like 10 games and just see what the coin decides. You know, maybe we'll have a video every week where we let the coin decide some games. That's what type of Saturday it is. But with that out of the way, I just came over from the Winner's Circle sports betting channel, and pretty good rants today over there. Those guys are going off. They seem a little bit of tension there. They've kind of had a cold streak over on that channel, but those guys are true professionals. They'll bounce back. So go check out the Winner's Circle sports betting channel if you're not already familiar with that. I'm sure those guys will start to get back in the win column at a good winning rate here very soon, if not this weekend. But I definitely disagreed with a fair amount of stuff they said today. And hopefully some of those guys actually swing by the channel today and they can, give their opinion if they want. A lot of talk on teasers, a lot of talk on this and that. I have an extremely strong opinion on parlays and teasers. I think they're extremely profitable. If you know how to bet them, if you know what games to choose with teasers, with parlays, they're amazing. They're better than straight bets, in my opinion. This is how I've made most of my money for 3-4 years now. I've been sports betting for about 12 or 13 years, but I've really made most of my bread as of late, last 3-4 full football seasons. And this is only football, not hoops, not this other stuff. There is a way to hack teasers if you do certain... I'm going to have a video out. I probably can't... I've been holding on to this information, but I might do you guys a solid and just make a video on how I choose teasers and how to actually get one teaser leg completely free. You can't lose it, and then you only have to fill in the other slots. You get a lot of value that way. There's a lot of games where a lot of people lose because they took the bet straight, they lost by the hook, or it was 1 point or one late score, but the teaser's covered. So I'll have a full video series out maybe in this upcoming week with how I choose teasers, and just a really, really good strategy that has just been absolutely foolproof. You just can't miss with it. It's hit for me almost every single weekend this year in both college and NFL. Those are not official picks I give out, but man, I don't know if I want to. It's hard for me to like spill the beans on basically a sports betting loophole that I've found, but I might just do it. Maybe I got to think about if I really want this information to go public. But let's get into the video today. College football. This is how we're going to do it today. I'm going to pull up the slate right now. We're going to go through each game, every single game. We're going to go through very quickly, very rapidly. We're maybe going to circle 10 lines that we initially like, just like we do on the look-ahead video when the lines first come out. And actually, I should go get that piece of paper that we used in the look-ahead video this week so we can see the difference in where the lines opened at and what we like then and kind of compare it to now. I guess I can just pull up the video on my phone and go through it. But yeah, let's just get this going here. By the way, if you're watching right now or if you see this video after it's archived on the channel in the live videos, hit that like button. It's free. I've been hitting college football at 65%, giving you guys winners every single week. Just tap the button for me. I'd appreciate it. You can subscribe if you want to. Completely up to you. Tonight, FAU Charlotte, no idea. All I know is there's reverse line movement on the game. It was 5.5. It's down to 3.5. It's a low total at 45, which has gone up a little bit. I would lean Charlotte in the points tonight if you really have to bet something. If you really can't wait until tomorrow, until Saturday, if you just got to put like $5 on the line just to have something going, I'd probably take the 3.5 with Charlotte. Oklahoma, Kansas. So I'm gonna circle this one for now because I think, man, this game is very puzzling to me. A lot of people are on Kansas here. I don't understand why. Why? So, okay, let's go over reasons why Kansas maybe is a good spot. Home game, off a bye, extra time to prepare. Great offense, great offense. So what's underrated about Kansas is actually their running game. It's very good. It's very potent. Home crowd. They've really developed a nice home crowd over there in Lawrence, man. Kansas football is like pretty solid. It's pretty good. And man, if Daniels was playing at quarterback, I would have this as an upset. Okay, the line wouldn't be 9.5. It'd be closer to a full touchdown. Maybe 6.5 if Daniels is playing under center. I would have it as an upset. I would have Kansas on the money line if Daniels was at quarterback. I just can't get to Jason Bean. He's good. He's a system quarterback. He can make throws. He's pretty good downfield, accurate thrower, pretty athletic guy. I just can't take him here. If Oklahoma won handedly last week, if they killed UCF, let's say they won by 30, I would like Kansas here. You know, that spread would be a little bit higher. Maybe it'd be 11. I would like Kansas here. 9.5. I know it's dropped, but the money's on Kansas. I'll check it right now. I'll give you the percentage of where the money's actually at right now. Pretty sure a lot of the money's on Kansas, guys. I don't get it. Oklahoma shoulda, coulda, woulda, probably shoulda lost, right? They got scared. Do you think Oklahoma's effort this week is going to be the same? I don't. I think their defense steps up. I don't know how Kansas is going to stop Oklahoma. I mean, Kansas is going to score. You could look at the over, but how in the world are they going to keep this single digits? I don't see it, but I'll tell you where the betting percentages are right now because this is very important. You guys cannot be putting your money on public underdogs. Now, we'll see how heavy it is here. But that's like the number one rule of thumb. You can't just look at lines and listen to someone on CBS or Monday Night Football give their opinion because they're in media. That's horrible. Don't do that. Stop that shit. You got to have your own opinion. You got to go against the grain. You cannot be with the public. You cannot be with the media. You cannot do it if you want to win in sports. You don't just go on Google and read winners and whiners, fucking Athlon Sports. You read 4 or 5 articles. You watch a couple of YouTube videos of NBC and CBS and like the big sports guys, and you get an overall consensus of what you see and go with it. That is so bad. You guys have to stop that. So here's the percentages. Virginia will, I don't know if you can get there. I mean, Virginia's off that big upset, right? Miami got back in the winning column. Miami's pretty potent on offense. I'm not sure I'd lay the points with Miami. I would just stay away from that game for sure. You're really going to bet. I mean, just think about it. Ask yourself. You're going to look in the mirror and tell yourself you just bet on Virginia against Miami. And maybe they do cover, man. But the time to bet Virginia was last week. They pulled the upset off. You think Miami's going to let them mess around? I don't. So here's the money. Yeah, see, here you go, guys. 70% of the money is on Kansas State against the spread. Did you hear that? I'll say it again. 70%. That's pretty big. That's a pretty big public underdog. A lot of people are taking points with Kansas. Now, the only thing that I'll say, the line did move. I mean, the sports books, they've respected this. They dropped it from 10 to 9.5, coming off a pretty big key number. They've respected the money coming in on Kansas. That's not a bad sign if you're on Kansas. And if you have plus 10 in your pocket right now, maybe ride it out. But 9.5? This is crazy that people are taking Kansas with the points. It just seems this is wild to me. I'm going to circle Oklahoma for now. So I'm going to make 2 columns here. All the games we circle and go over, and then at the end we'll have the actual official plays column, which will actually count this week towards the record. Virginia got, I know the quarterback situation, because without that quarterback situation, the spread would be significantly different. See, things like that, they're baked into the spread, man. The sports books are sharp. They make all this money for a reason. All these things, the quarterback being back for Virginia, that's cooked into the number of 18.5. You're not like pulling a fast one on the sports books. I think the Miami and Virginia game is a classic example of Team A beat Team C, Team B or Team A beat Team B, B beat C, so that means A kills or covers against C, right? Virginia upset UNC. UNC beat Miami. So you would think automatically you would take Virginia in the points against Miami. That's not how sports betting works. You got to look situationally, man. Home game for Miami, they got that bullshit negative energy out of their life. They're back in the win column. They beat a pretty good Clemson team that's under the radar. Strong rushing attack. Virginia's defense, they're going to get cooked. Miami can score. And I know Miami's quarterback situation is also not as stable as it should be. Just a bad spot. When you're looking at a team like Virginia, if they have a winning week, I just there's no way I could take them 2 weeks in a row. No way. So Oklahoma right now. I'm looking at Oklahoma. Let's go. Keep scrolling down here. Florida State, Wake Forest. See, this is an interesting game because the total's only 51, right? FSU at Wake. Wake sucks. But at the end of the day, I just don't like betting games where it's essentially like up to Florida State if they want to cover or not. They could comfortably, Florida State could comfortably just save some energy, win by 14 or 17, head on into the future. Kind of like they against Virginia Tech, right? Home game, Virginia Tech. They knew at any given moment they can just crank up the energy and put a couple scores on the board if they need to. So you're kind of playing with fire at a number of 20.5. I mean, it's absolutely Florida State or pass. You can't take Wake here. Wake's horrible. Florida State, if Leonard didn't get hurt in the Duke game, I truly believe that would have been an upset. Duke would have won that game, in my opinion. So maybe you do see a better effort out of Florida State. I would lean Florida State. This one will not make official picks. It's college football, guys. It's not the NFL. Laying 20 on the road against anyone? I mean, come on. You just can't do it. West Virginia, Central Florida, pass. I don't want any part of the Mountaineers. I don't want to bet against them. I don't want to bet on them. We did bet against them, though. I gave Oklahoma State out this past weekend as an official pick. That did hit. I just can't do it here. South Carolina, Texas A&M. Pretty sharp line movement here, guys. 14.5, 15.5. It's up to 16.5. 17's a key number. Has the line moved too far? I'm not sure. I'd consider laying the points with Texas A&M at home here. That defense is pretty nasty. Spencer could be in for a long day, but that's not going to make our picks. Penn State laying 31.5 at home against Indiana. Can't do it. Maryland on the road, can't do it. Houston, Kansas State is very interesting. Kansas State looked extremely strong last week, but 17.5 is a very heavy number. Houston at least has a pretty decent quarterback. They can at least put some points on the board. I'm going to have to pass there as well. Clemson, NC State, that number's ticked down, just kind of like the Kansas game from 10 to 9.5. I probably have to go road team again. So there's 2 road teams where the line has come down half a point, and I just don't understand it. I like Oklahoma. I like Clemson. Clemson in a bounce back spot, but I mean, NC State is really, really bad. I think I'm going to circle Clemson here. Will it make the official plays at the end? I'm not sure. But NC State is no good. Georgia, Florida, can't touch that. Pittsburgh, Notre Dame, same thing. Huge line, guys. Huge line. I mean, that's massive. 20.5. The total's only 44. I mean, if Pitt can score like 10 points, they're probably going to cover. And no one's going to want Pitt after they blew the game to Wake. I mean, Pitt's trash. Pitt's horrible. But Notre Dame, they're probably going to have some 8-9 minute drives. Run the ball with Estime. Sam Hartman, system quarterback. He's not in the Heisman race. They're not going to want to bump his numbers up. They're not going to want to have some big celebratory win. I could see him cruising to a 17-point win, a 20-point win, and Pittsburgh covers by a freaking hook, something crazy like that. I mean, if Pittsburgh can just score like 7 or 10, they got a good shot of covering here. I'm not interested. Oregon, Utah. I'm going to write it down. Spread is still 6.5 here. Man, you know what? This is an interesting game. I think you have too many unknowns. I don't think Oregon is really tested enough. Utah's defense at home. I know the trends for Utah at home as well. I I think you have to just enjoy this game, right? College game day. Spread 6.5. I think the Oregon running back. Why am I blanking on his name? That's the little small guy, physical, shifty, fast. I think he's banged up. I don't think he's 100%. Washington was exposed against Arizona State. Washington is not a physical team. Very overrated, not physical. So how much stock do we really put into the Washington-Oregon game? A lot of people say, oh, well, Oregon played Washington, pretty tight. Maybe even could have won the game. Now they get Utah without Cam Rising. A lot of people are liking Oregon here. I think I'd take 6.5 with Utah. It should be competitive. This game could always be a 10 or a 13-point margin. Couple minutes left. The game's pretty much over. What does Utah do? They get one more score in junk time when nothing really matters. They cover the number. You could see a backdoor cover here with Utah, and you could see an outright win. I just don't think you can. I don't want to go against Oregon relying on a quarterback that, wasn't supposed to be the starter for the year. But I don't want to go against that Utah trend at home either. That defense can play inspired. The defense can win the game on their own. Maybe look at the under here. I'm just not really sure. I'm probably going to have to pass on that game, unfortunately. Holy cow, a lot of line movement in BYU and Texas. The spread is up to 20.5. It was 17.5 just 48 hours ago. So a 3-point move on Texas. I guess they're confident in let's look at the money. Where's the money pouring in? I find it hard to believe that much money is going to pour in on Texas with the quarterback situation and almost probably should have lost to Houston. That was a really bad ending to that game. Houston did look like it got that first down, which ultimately was called short, and then they didn't convert, and the game was over. Does that inspire a better effort from Texas here at home? Probably. Is that enough to cover 20.5? Probably. But you just would have been better getting this a couple days ago at a much lower number. 20.5 is getting pretty crazy. Why won't my phone load? Hold on, guys. Let me double check internet connection here. Let's see what this percentage is on the BYU-Texas game. Just a bad spot to play BYU, in my opinion. I mean, Texas, God, they should have lost. Probably should have lost to Houston. I mean, that's why I don't get people taking BYU and taking Kansas. Oklahoma and Texas, coming off of that huge game, both played flat. They both probably should have lost. They escaped. They're going to play inspired. They're not going to want to have that feeling again. They don't want games to be close. Home game for Texas. If they get out to a good start, they're going to pour it on, just like the Kansas game. Kansas is a lot better than BYU. Texas put it on them. different quarterback situation, but why won't this load? This is so frustrating. I want to look up the betting percentage. Here we go. 50 ever so slight lean on BYU against the spread. Against the spread, 53.7% of bettors have taken BYU against the spread. So despite about even money on the game, that line has gone up 3 full points. 21 is a big number. It's 20.5 right now. I'd lean Texas. I'd lean Texas at home. BYU is a complete fraud, maybe the most fraudulent team with that particular winning-loss record in the country. Texas scared last week. Defense probably steps up. We'll see. It's got a good chance of making official plays. Let's get back to the list here. Duke and Louisville, extremely sharp move on Louisville. It's up 2 points. Was 4.5. Now it's 6.5, getting closer to that full touchdown number. I like Louisville at home. Maybe it's a repeat of that Notre Dame game. A good performance after being upset there. Maybe they bounce back at home nicely with a good win here. Louisville does. Duke without Leonard is just bad. And I know the defense is really good, but man, even a good defense, if the offense can't score, any good defense will get worn down. That's just how it works. You could have an NFL defense in there. They're going to get worn down if they're on the field the whole 60 minutes. Miss State Auburn, God, that's ugly. I'd lean Mississippi State plus the 6.5. I think Auburn gets the job done. I think they get into the win column, but that offense sucks. Low total. Total in the game's only 41.5. I would take the points with Mississippi State, and I'm willing to bet that the money is all over Auburn. I'm going to check it right here. I bet you people are hammering Auburn just because it's kind of a household name. Mississippi State's been bad this year, but look what they did at Arkansas last week. I like Mississippi State getting 6.5. I don't know why this Pickett app is so slow today. Maybe everyone's scrambling right now to get their picks in. My picks are already in. These are just the official picks for the channel here. Obviously, I don't bet exactly what I give out here on the channel. Maybe I should, though. We're sitting at 65%. World-class number. Better than every other channel I see on YouTube for college. But I of course, have my own personal bets that I just can't give out. Come on, man. This app is so dumb today. It's been slow. I want to see the percentages on Mississippi State and Auburn. If a lot of money is on Auburn, I think Mississippi State, as ugly as it sounds, low total in the game at 41.5. Kind of a grind-out game. Someone's going to win by a field goal. I like 6.5 with Mississippi State, I think. I just want to see the percentages. Miss State plus 6.5. At Auburn, the line hasn't moved an inch ever since I saw it. Ever since it is, or throughout the week, it has just been idle. It's just glued at 6.5. I think the money's coming in on Auburn, if I had to take a guess, and I think the sports books are happy with that. I think they're willing to just soak up all the action on 6.5, and that's a really good sign. So FanDuel, which I don't think is accurate at times. It's very don't trust like the betting percentages you see, the little icon on FanDuel, because a lot of times I look on here, and in this case it says 63% of the money is on Auburn, as I would expect. But then you go to actual apps or sites that provide the information. It's not the same. So I wouldn't trust FanDuel. I mean, if you're trusting the numbers given on the actual sports betting app, like, I don't know. I wouldn't trust it. God damn. Let me try to refresh this, guys, because these percentages are important, and I want to boil these picks down here in just a couple of minutes to our official plays for tomorrow. I think Oklahoma's going to make the list. I think Texas is going to make the list. I think Utah is going to make the list. Because the money's on Oregon, by the way, with that Utah game. The money is on Oregon. The last time I saw it. So my profile is loading right now on the Pickett app. But, man, not a whole lot more than that. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think about Mississippi State and Auburn? I'm leaning Mississippi State. Maybe we buy half a point. We take them at a full 7. Give away a little bit of winning margin, but you never know. That game could absolutely be tied. You know, maybe it goes to overtime. In overtime, you start to 25. Maybe Auburn gets the ball first. They put the ball in the end zone. Mississippi State comes up short. 7-point win for Auburn. Something like that, you know? Come on, Pickett. Let's go. Auburn betting percentage. Submit. Okay, here we go. Let's go to events. Here we go. Let's see. What do we got? What are the percentages? I'm going to guess it's similar to FanDuel. Maybe FanDuel's actually correct this time. I would say it's probably 65, maybe even 70% on Auburn here. It's just loading. Gotta be kidding me. This is extremely important. Let's maybe we'll just continue and we'll come back to betting percentages at the end just to finalize the picks. So let's keep scrolling down. We were at Miss State and Auburn. Iowa State and Baylor is very interesting. 2.5-point spread. A lot of money on Iowa State. A lot of money on Iowa State, guys. A lot of money on Iowa State. I mean, alarming. 90, 94, the last time I looked, 93, 94% of the money is on Iowa State, laying points on the road at Baylor. That is, I mean, guys, that's a lot of money on Iowa State. And the line, it just won't budge. It did move up to 2.5. That was a decent sign for Iowa State. But the money continues to pour in on Iowa State. The books are not making it 3. It's stuck at 2.5. Why? If the sports books really were like, I don't know, Iowa State's probably the better team, don't you think that line would go to a field goal? They don't even want to give you a field goal. Can you do a little bit of detective skills? I mean, guys, in sports betting, it's not as easy as just saying, oh, well, Iowa State's offense looks better. Baylor's defense looks suspect at times. I like Iowa State. No, it's situational. Blake Shapen back for Baylor. They got a little momentum going. They won at Cincy last week. I was on that. It wasn't an official pick, but I was on it personally. Iowa State, it's a road game, conference game. Total sits at 47.5. Baylor should be in the game here. I mean, this is going to be close. Do you take a shot with Baylor on the money line at plus 125? I think it's worth a shot. Purdue and Nebraska, no thank you. Bye. Virginia, Miami, we already talked about that earlier. That's a no-no for me. I won't bet it. USC, Cal. I want no part of any USC game. I did give out Notre Dame. I was extremely confident on that game. The only thing I'll do is fade USC in certain spots. But off these losses, I'm not willing to do that here. Tennessee and Kentucky. I think it's kind of low-hanging fruit. I think people see Tennessee falling apart in the second half of Alabama. Now you got back-to-back road games. Kentucky's looked good at home at times, and you get 3 in the hook. I think that looks extremely attractive to the general public, just grabbing that 3.5 with Kentucky at home. I lean Tennessee here to cover the 3.5. I'm going to write it down for now. Washington, Stanford, no interest. Washington's a fraud, in my opinion. I don't think they're that good. A fraud as in, like, they're not, like, top 5 in the country fraud. They're still extremely good. They're just not. I mean, we're painting them to be, like, an elite team. I think they get absolutely waxed by a team like Alabama. Washington is not physical. And on the days where the offense isn't clicking, man, that team can get beat by just about anyone. Ohio State, Wisconsin, no interest. Vandy and Ole Miss, huge number, but Vandy's horrible. God, I'm tempted to lay the 24.5. That's a monster number, though. 24.5 points. God, that's a big number. I would lean Ole Miss. They could kill Vandy if they want to. Now, here's another thing you guys got to realize. Today is October 27th. We're really, if you've noticed, this is week 9. Like, it sucks because I love football and the season goes so fast somehow. It feels like we almost just got sports betting back for football. We're really kind of getting down to the end here. And what do teams need to do to get into the college football playoff? Not only do they need to win sometimes, but they have to do it by good fashion. They have to impress the committee, right? You got to be in that top 4. And I think at this point in the season, it's time to start looking at some of these heavier favorites, because not only are they going to win those games, they want to pour it on. They want to put up a 70 on someone to try to gain some exposure and impress the playoff football committee. Maybe Ole Miss starts that trend, favored 24.5 against Vandy. Maybe they win 60-14, and really wipe the floor with Vanderbilt here. You could start seeing some games like that. I think that's a trend you guys need to pay attention to. Large favorites or just favorites in general moving forward. Home teams, specifically teams at home. You never want to get too crazy on the road in college football. Home teams that have an ability to really put it on someone, I think they're going to take it, and they're going to keep their foot on the gas and try to impress that college football playoff committee. Maybe lean Ole Miss at home this week. Oklahoma State, Cincy. Very interesting line movement. It was 7. It went down to 6.5. Right now it's back to 7.5. Cincinnati is not good. Oklahoma State's been rolling lately. I don't love it past a touchdown. I think it literally is going to sit right on a margin of 7. I'd probably lay the points with Oklahoma State. I don't love teasing in college football either, but maybe that's a teaser spot. Get Oklahoma State down to a reasonable number. Find another game to pair it with. Washington State, Arizona State, no interest. Oregon State, Arizona to finish this thing off. Here's my opinion on this game. Oregon State is a 3.5-point favorite at Arizona. And a lot of people have been saying, and the guys on the Winner's Circle channel, who I respect tremendously, and they're professionals, but I have my opinion too. Everyone's saying, oh, well, the spread's only 3 or 3.5, depending on where you look. It's just too easy just to, lay the points with a team that's ranked 11 in the country against an Arizona team. Arizona's good. Arizona has earned that spread. Are people not watching them? Very competitive against Washington. Should have beaten USC in triple overtime. Killed Washington State. Beat the shit out of Washington State on the road. Arizona football has earned the respect. There's been multiple weeks in a row now. Arizona has played good football. The fact that this spread is only 3 or 3.5, that's not a fishy line. Arizona earned that. Arizona's good. And I think that's respect to Arizona. I don't think taking Oregon State at a low number is like a fishy line or low-hanging fruit. Arizona at home, they've looked good. They earn a spread being that low. I'm on Oregon State here. Why am I on Oregon State? They're more physical. Arizona is physical. Their effort is high, so they do well against a USC team. Soft as butter, a bunch of Cali pretty boys. Want to be celebrities in a rap music video. They're not good. They're soft. They're gutless. That's teams that Arizona does good against. Washington State, soft as butter. They looked good against Washington State. Beat them 44-6. Oregon State, they're no pushover. They're physical. I think they beat up Arizona. I don't care that it's on the road. I think Oregon State, too physical. I think this Arizona quarterback, he's looked great, but the stock's too high now. Betting on Arizona now, after 4 impressive weeks, you guys are late to the party. The time to bet Arizona had been these past few weeks. They've been covering the spread as underdogs. Not now. You get them at home, you see the small number, you want to take the points with Arizona, I understand. And I'm not saying I'm right. I could be wrong here. Arizona could win this game outright. I'm laying the points with Oregon State. That is our first official play. Oregon State -3 at Arizona It is 3.5 at -102, almost even money on FanDuel, but just about every other sports book right now is a 3. So if you're on Arizona, maybe swing by FanDuel. But I'm on Oregon State here, so I'll be shopping the line, and I'll be taking the 3, probably maybe over at Caesars or something. Or I might just go to the local casino with cash for this one. Oregon State, -3. Official play number 1. Case closed. I think I make a good case for that one. 2 physical guys. Arizona, they've just been bullying people. This is the bully. This is the bully. This team in Utah, those are the bullies. You're not going to punk Oregon State. They're tested. They've already played hard games. Oregon State, absolutely. Oregon State played on the road at Utah, didn't they? Or no, it's a home game, but they killed them. I mean, they took a physical Utah team, beat them in the dirt. Oregon State, -3. Let's see if I can get that Pickett app going, and we can find the percentage on that Mississippi State game. I am tempted on that one. Here we go. Popped right up. Holy crap, better than I thought. Check that out. I know you guys can't read the numbers because it's too blurry. I'll read it to you. 76.2%. I got to say that again. 76.2% of the money against the spread is on Auburn. And yet it is sat at 6.5. Official play number 2. Mississippi State +6.5 at Auburn. 2 road teams to start off official plays. Don't love to see it, but man, I think it's the right side. I'll take the 6.5 in what should be an ugly, horrible, brutal game on your eyes. Don't watch it. You'll be frustrated trying to watch that game. Bet it and forget it. Mississippi State +6.5. Official play number 2. William says East Carolina. East Carolina UTSA -18. You're on UTSA, you're saying? I don't know, man. I try to stay away from teams like that the best I can. Anytime, at least the majority of the time that I bet on like an East Carolina or like a Conference USA game or like, I don't know, just lower tier. I just for fun, I call them high school teams because I think they all are just not worth betting on. Too unpredictable, I won't do it. But good luck if you're going with that. Let's get back to this Kentucky game. Let me double check this one. Kentucky, Tennessee. Here we go. The app's working now. A little bit of a lean, a little bit of most of the betting money is on Kentucky here. A little bit of a lean on the money line for Tennessee. Do we want to get involved with this one, man? Do we want to get involved for this one? I think we do. Tennessee -3.5 at Kentucky is official play number 3. Laying the points with Tennessee on the road. I know it's not popular for a reason. I think a lot of people are going to grab the points with Kentucky here. I don't trust their offense against Tennessee's defense. I don't. Let's check the percentages on Oregon and Utah here. Oregon Ducks at Utah. 75% of the money is on Oregon. 75, 3/4 of the money is on Oregon against the spread. 85% on the money line is on Oregon against the spread. Official play number 4. I didn't think we were going to have this many. Oregon is -6.5 at Utah. We're going to take the 6.5 points with Utah at home. Give me the home team. I'm not sure Oregon's tested enough here. Too much public money on Oregon. Give me Utah at home plus the 6.5. That's play number 4. And I think there was just one more we were going to look at, right? That Oklahoma game didn't load. Oklahoma, Kansas. Yeah. Again, 71.6%. Almost 72% of the money against the spread is on Kansas here. I think we get an inspired effort from Oklahoma after they got scared. I think their defense shows up a little better here. Kansas can score at will, though, man. Maybe, do we just forget this game and not touch it? It's down to 9.5 from 10. Kansas can't score anyone. I'm taking Oklahoma. Oklahoma minus 9.5 on the road in Lawrence. I'm laying the points with the Sooners. I think they really got scared, and there's just no way that their effort isn't going to be higher here. Just offensively, they're going to. I mean, Kansas can score at will, but Oklahoma, my God, they are going to really score here. Big trouble. If Kansas just has a couple possessions where they don't get points, they're not going to be able to keep it within this number. Oklahoma's dropping 50. So can Kansas drop 40 on Oklahoma? I don't think so. And then the Texas, very last game here. Let's just check the percentages. BYU at Texas. Even money, but a strong 3-point move on Texas. I'll lay the points. BYU on the road. They're currently plus 20.5 at Texas. We're going to be looking for a blowout here. We're going to lay the 20.5 with Texas. So what do I mean? 1, 2, 3, 6. I didn't think we were going to get to 6. 6 official plays this week for college football. Again, Oregon State -3 at Arizona. Mississippi State plus 6.5 at Auburn. Tennessee -3.5 at Kentucky. Utah at home getting 6.5 points over Oregon against Oregon. Oklahoma going on the road -9.5 against Kansas. And Texas at home laying a big number of 20.5, but BYU's terrible. That Texas defense might show up in big form this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 official plays this week for college football. I'm going to have another live stream here, probably for the NFL official plays. Are we missing anything? I don't think so. Kind of like Florida State, number's too big for me. They kind of sleepwalk through games. I think we're ready to rock, guys. I think we're in for another winning week. See if we can maybe do a little bit better than expected. It was an ugly slate, but I do like these 6 picks. Hopefully we go 5-1 here. We'll shoot for 5-1 with these 6. Appreciate you guys watching. Before you exit out, please hit that like button. It's completely free. It's the only thing I ask. Subscribe if you're new, and swing by TikTok. Been killing it. Gave out some winners over the past few days. Actually, let me show you one thing here. Any NBA? Yeah, but I've been tiptoeing in the NBA. I gave out a free play last night on the Lakers, and they won, but we needed them to win the first half too. It was a parlay, and they came up 4 points short in the first half. I personally went 4-1 with the NBA on Tuesday when it opened. So personally, I'm sitting at 4-2 with the NBA. More NBA picks will be coming, but I'm just kind of tiptoeing in the NBA. I do want to show you guys one thing, though, here on my Pick'It app, which tracks all of my sports betting. The bottom row of that calendar. 5 winning days in a row. So let's see if we can do a full week. I want a full week, every single day winning. I think we're in good shape for that, guys. Appreciate you guys swinging by. And, hey, if you guys do see this video after the live stream is ended, I'm still going to look at all the comments. I will be replying to every single comment. I've replied to every comment on every video. I have much more successful channel in YouTube in a different industry with thousands of subscribers, 5-digit following in a different industry. And I always respond to every single comment. So if you're watching this after I end the live stream or